April 2024. The quiet buzz of Milwaukee hums like any other spring day. The city awakens under soft morning light. Life flows predictably. Coffee shops fill, students rush to class. The lake glistens under a warming sun. But beneath the calm, a nightmare is forming, one that no one could see coming. 19-year-old Sade Robinson was vibrant, smiling in selfies, finishing schoolwork, texting her friends about her evening plans. She had no idea she was walking into the arms of a killer. What followed would unravel into one of the most brutal and haunting murder cases Milwaukee had seen in decades. This is the story of trust shattered, innocence betrayed, and a predator hiding in plain sight. This is The First Date Killer. Sade wasn't just another face in the crowd. Born and raised in Milwaukee, she was determined to rise above. A sophomore in college, Sade studied criminal justice, ironically, with dreams of one day working in law enforcement or as a defense attorney. She was independent, smart, and fearless. Her friends called her the strong one, the kind who stood up for others, who laughed loudly, who lived openly. She loved fashion, took pride in her natural curls, and often wrote affirmations in her journal. Her life wasn't perfect, but she was hopeful. And like many young adults, Sade occasionally ventured into the world of online dating, trusting that people were mostly good. On April the 1st, she told friends she had a date lined up with someone new, a man she'd been texting for a few days. She was excited. They never saw her again. That night, Sade posted a short message in her friend group chat. "He seems cool. We're going to get food." It was casual, harmless, nothing alarming. But by morning, the group grew silent. No replies. No updates. Her phone rang endlessly. Her social media went inactive. By afternoon, her friends grew uneasy. They checked with her workplace. She hadn't shown up. Her mother filed a missing persons report. Police began their usual checks: hospitals, ex-boyfriends, friends' houses. But nothing. Then, 2 days later, something washed ashore on Lake Michigan that shattered all hope. April 3rd. A jogger running along Warnemont Park noticed something strange caught in the rocks. At first glance, it looked like driftwood, until they got closer. It was a leg, severed cleanly at the hip, with distinct markings and a tattoo. Emergency services cordoned off the area. Within hours, forensic investigators matched it to Sade Robinson. The city gasped. A missing persons case had just become a murder investigation. And the most terrifying part: the killer hadn't even begun to cover his tracks. The last person Sade had contact with was traced via cell phone data. His name, Maxwell Anderson, 34, a soft-spoken man known to neighbors as polite, reserved, unremarkable. He worked odd jobs, lived alone, never married, no criminal history. But behind closed doors, Anderson harbored dark, violent fantasies. Police acquired a warrant. What they found would turn stomachs. Inside Anderson's modest home, officers found a chilling array of items. In the basement, a padlocked room. Inside, a homemade dungeon, walls lined with padded foam. A bed bolted to the floor. Leather restraints. Surgical instruments. Buckets. A GoPro. There were signs of struggle. Blood splatter under UV light. And then, the final confirmation. Sade's phone was found dismantled in a toolbox. Forensics revealed her blood on the mattress, her hair in the drain, and in the freezer, a human breast, later confirmed through DNA to be hers. Maxwell Anderson wasn't just a murderer. He was a sadist. The next day, Sade's car was found torched in an abandoned lot. Nearby surveillance caught a figure walking away, hooded, limping slightly. A facial recognition scan confirmed it, Maxwell Anderson. In his possession was a burner phone. On it, photos. One image showed Anderson holding what appeared to be a severed limb, grinning at the camera. He didn't just kill Sade. He documented it. Investigators dug deeper into Anderson's history. He had no record, but his search history told a different story. He had been obsessed with serial killers, Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Robert Burdella. His internet history was filled with forums on dismemberment, disposal techniques, and how to silence screams. Anderson had been planning this for months, maybe years. Sade just happened to be the one who swiped right. Anderson was arrested on April 6th, just 5 days after Sade vanished. In court, he remained silent. No plea. No emotion. Just hollow eyes staring ahead. Prosecutors presented overwhelming evidence: DNA, photo documentation, blood traces, and digital forensics. But then, weeks into the trial, Anderson spoke. In a cold monotone, he said, "I've always wondered what it would feel like, killing someone up close. I needed to know." The courtroom froze. Maxwell Anderson was convicted of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilation of a corpse, arson, and obstruction. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But for Sade's mother, it was little comfort. She was good, she was light, and he took that from us. In the weeks after the trial, her college created a scholarship in Sade's name. Thousands marched in Milwaukee demanding better safeguards on dating apps. The pain rippled far beyond one family. Sade Robinson should have lived, should have graduated, should have grown old. Instead, her story ends as a grim warning. Trust carefully, protect fiercely, and never forget that even monsters can wear masks. Maxwell Anderson hid in plain sight. A first date turned final breath. You've been watching Hidden Chapter, where true crime stories are told in full detail, truthfully, respectfully, and without compromise. Subscribe to never miss a case. And remember, the scariest stories are the true ones.